Hey there gang, what's up and welcome back to another video on streaming stars. Netflix content variety is increasing day by day. It's a one-stop place for literally anything a person might want to watch. A wildlife fanatic might just be drawn to the latest release of the distributor known as Tiger King, Murder, Mayhem, and Madness, as it was a success. The 7-part docuseries discussed Joseph Schreibvogel, popularly known as Joe Exotic's Exotic Animal Park in Oklahoma. The story, mainly narrated from Exotic's point of view, touches every aspect from the start of his business to his relationships and the hate-brewing rivalry with Carole Baskin. However, the docuseries, like any other series, has closely missed out on some details and realities which need to be addressed, and that's what I'm here for. But before we start, make sure you subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon so you're notified of more of our upcoming videos. Alright gang, let's get to it. Number 10. Can Joe really sing? Aside from being a big cat breeder, Exotic has stepped into many other fields such as politics and country music. In the series, you might have caught him bragging on about his singing skills more than once. He goes on and on about his country records, with "I Saw a Tiger" being heard in the background countless times. Well, if you possess more than a brain cell, you can easily decipher that the voice isn't actually his. The sound of Joe's actual voice is far from what is heard in his songs. The original artists came forward to claim that they lent their voices for Joe's songs so that they could gain recognition from his reality show. They were Vince Johnson and Danny Clinton, who worked for free. Everything Joe does in his songs is lip-synced to their work and enjoys the staging. Number 9. The origin of Big Cat Rescue. Apart from his wildlife empire, the docuseries has targeted Carole Baskin to be Joe's ultimate enemy following her life as well. According to Baskin, Joe Exotic was the criminal breeding animals behind bars while she rescued the wildlife. So let's take a look at how she started. Baskin started off much like Joe. With her husband Don Lewis in the 1990s, the couple bought a farm and some cubs to raise privately, but while surfing for some other big cats, she came across the horrible conditions they were being raised in and decided to stop their selling and auctioning big cats and renamed it as a rescue center. She then started looking forward to saving animals from treacherous conditions and owners who would look forward to killing them and selling their skins for personal benefit. Number 8. How Don Lewis built his wealth. Don Lewis in the docuseries is shown to have a reputation for the rich when Baskin married him, which is half the truth. When Carole met him, he wasn't a millionaire just yet, but he made enough to be comfortable. If you look back, Lewis didn't have a financially strong background. His mother had raised him single-handedly in the sorrowful years of the Great Depression. He then went on to earn all the money by himself by repairing cars and renewing scrap metal. His wealth gradually, when he shifted to investing in real estate, grew after marriage, enough for him to buy a farm and raise cubs on it. Number 7. The Cat's Bite. Even after years and years of taming, you can't be fully sure that the wild beast inside these big cats can be fully suppressed. Joe's employees have suffered the damage done by the cats firsthand. For example, Kelsey Safrey, who was bitten brutally by a cat in the very first episode. The series showed his return with an amputated hand, but later in an interview with actor David Spade, Safrey explained how he was to blame in the first place, as he broke the rule by extending his hand in the cage. Well, you can't expect to break the rules and not suffer the consequences, so it was only fair that the tiger was removed from the display but not from the park itself. Plus, Safrey never once blamed the big cat. Number 6. How many times did Joe marry? Joe wasn't just exotic with his fancy zoo, but his marriage history can also be described as exotic as well. The documentary very well showcased his relationships with his two husbands, John Finlay and Travis Maldonado, whom he had married at the same time. He was quite proud of his illegal polygamy act. Where the series shed light on his formerly mentioned relationship, it missed the other love interests and marriages Joe shared. While in the 80s, Exotic married Brian Ryan, whom he had met at the bar he worked at. The two lived together for over a decade and shared a very close bond even after his split, with Ryan eventually dying in Exotic's arms. He then met J.C. Hardpence, who was convicted for murder, resulting in their separation. And after marrying Finlay, Exotic became involved with a guy named Paul, and it was pretty much a three-person relationship. After his departure, he found Maldonado, and after him, he was reunited with Dylan Passage. So I guess it was 4 times that he married. Number 5. The denture fixture and the truth about the wedding. Spade didn't just interview Safrey, but Finlay as well. The interview discussed Finlay getting his teeth fixed and being very happy about it. He looks extremely nice and cute after the denture fixture. The duo talked about Joe's unorthodox wedding plans, and Finlay revealed that the pink shirts and 3 grooms were all Joe's ideas. Number 4. Jeff Lowe is sued for perjury. Right after the show, Joe went on to sue his ex-partner for perjury. But it doesn't stop there, because as the end of the series showed Exotic being extremely angry at all the white-collar men for projecting him as the assaulter and the villain in the eyes of the public, he managed to drag all of them in his lawsuit. Number 3. What you don't know about Rick Kirkham. Rick Kirkham, who produced Joe Exotic's talk show, isn't really talked about much in the series. Well, the producer shares a very rocky relationship with Exotic. It's suspected that Kirkham's studio was burned down by Exotic himself to destroy footage of his talk show, which could have worked against him, causing Kirkham to break ties with Joe. But this wasn't it, as his apartment in Dallas was also caught fire while he was still in it, but managed to escape, losing his dog in the process. There were no arrests by the police for either arson. Number 2. A one-sided perception. The rivalry between Baskin and Exotic was the highlight of the whole document. It escalated so much that each of the sides wanted nothing less than the other to be put away in jail for the rest of their lives. In an attempt to do so, Exotic even alleged that Carol Baskin had her own husband killed and chopped up into pieces and fed to the tiger in her shelter. Well, the narrative should be doubted, as it's coming from her worst enemy, who makes every effort to bring down Joe's GW Zoo through her big cat rescue. Some reputable sources have cited that Don Lewis left for Costa Rica and never returned after a drug deal went south. Number 1. So is cub breeding okay? So after 328 hours of watching this documentary, have your opinions changed about cub breeding? Digital Spy has concluded that the whole documentary kind of avoided how the animals are suffering because of this business. National Geographic has also concluded how crossbreeding among cubs causes genetic defects and health issues. Moreover, the Humane Society of the United States once caught Joe abusing the animals, while some feds found tiger bones in the back of Joe's zoo. So this shouldn't be supported, and if you look at it with a neutral perception, the big cats naturally belong in the wild, which ensures their freedom. Extra knowledge never does no harm. After watching the documentary series, you still won't be able to uncover the entire truth about these private zoos, but anyways, this was a fun piece. And that about wraps up this video, which we hope you guys enjoyed. If you haven't liked it yet, don't hesitate to start now. We'll be seeing you in another video real soon. Until then, take care and goodbye.